I know I don't usually post videos like this on here, but I feel like I need to talk about this, and my main account has more subs than my commentary channel. So, SunnyV2, we all know him, right? Well, if you don't, he basically makes short documentary-type videos on creators, like The Right Opinion, but not nearly as long. Recently, he made a video on MrBeast's friend Chris, who recently came out as trans, and the video was...
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits.
Not great. This video was, and I really don't want to use this word, transphobic. Sunny talked about how Chris's transition was going to destroy MrBeast's channel, and that MrBeast was forced to agree with him.
And influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him. The problem is, this type of situation is probably the last thing that MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real. An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama, which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would come with obvious severe repercussions.
Which is completely fucking ridiculous because 1. Chris transitioning isn't about you. It isn't about MrBeast. If Chris wants to transition, it's their choice. Just let people be happy. 2. Chris and Beast are friends. They've been friends for a long time and will stay friends. If MrBeast didn't want Chris on his channel, he wouldn't put him there in the first place. Sunny also brought Chris's family into this, implying that Chris being trans was going to affect their child in the long run, because stupid right-wing argument that child need dad blah blah blah. Bro, mind your fucking business. If the child isn't being abused or something, then Chris's family is none of your concern.
Instead seemed to have come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails.
Really invasive, to be honest. He also implied that Chris was just an LGBTQ character that MrBeast added for his brand.
Although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video.
Bro, trans people aren't characters. We're people who are just trying to live our lives and be happy, just like you, just like MrBeast. Just let people be happy. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to say about this situation. This video really got on my nerves as a trans person myself. I really thought SunnyV2 was better than this, but I guess you never really know a person. Anyways, I know I've gained a couple subscribers recently, so you may not know that I have a commentary channel that I'm going to start posting theory videos on. The link will be in the description. Also, I have a DeviantArt account, so if you're interested in my Ninjago Ninjago Love and Despair, then go check it out. See you later.
Just listen to this verse, folks. They say that I'm good enough, grabbing my da-da-da. Think about shit that I shouldn't, So I tell him it's one of me, he making fun of me. His girl is a bum to me, like that boy is a cap.